So this is what we're seeing here in the dollar index, and let's just have a look here. As you can see, we've also broken through this trend line. Okay, so this downward trend line you see now, you may recall this, that at the beginning of this year, just a few weeks back, we did a big picture outlook on the 2013 webinar. I don't know if you recall that. And one of the things I mentioned at that particular webinar, if you recall, was that I was expecting a bullish dollar for the first half of this year. And of course, that certainly was, surprising to a lot of people, because the US dollar going up, especially with the stock market, what's happening in the stock market. But that, as I said before, the US dollar going up here, what that means is money is going into safety. Okay, so it's a flight to safety. We have to remember that when hedge funds are moving money away from risk and putting into safety, by safety we're talking about the US dollar. So we're talking about the US dollar, okay, and bonds. All right, not gold and silver. Okay, this is a big misconception among a lot of people, unfortunately, which is they think that safety means here in this context gold and silver. No, gold and silver, you got to remember, are not liquid. They're liquid for us, but they're not liquid for billion-dollar hedge funds. Billion-dollar hedge funds cannot move money easily into gold and silver without incurring losses. Okay, so that means, of course, for them, liquidity. They see, in other words, what hedge funds are looking for is liquidity, or liquid safety. Okay, that's what's important to remember here, which is why we see money going into the US dollar, all right, even though we know that the US dollar in the long term, so don't get me wrong here, US dollar in the long term, I'm bearish. Okay, in other words, we know that US dollar in the long term is on its way down. It's on a demise. But of course, in the short term, I'm expecting a pop here, a rise, a rally, if you want to call it that, in the US dollar. So what that means, of course, means lower gold and silver prices. We've already seen downward pressure on gold and silver recently. What about stocks though? Now, traditionally when the US dollar has rallied, that has put downward pressure on the stock market. But in this case, in this scenario we're looking at here, is a little bit different, because things are complicated with what's happening with the Japanese yen. Okay, so things are a little bit more different this time. But let's just have a look at gold. All right, so as you can see here, gold, tremendous sell-off here on gold. It's not over yet, because if you look at the weekly picture on gold, okay, let's just have a look over here. You can see that downward trend line. Okay, so we actually have, if you look over here, so not only do we have this supporting trend line coming down here at the 1525 region here by this downward trend line, we also have another supporting line here, which is the bottom here on the last lows we had here on gold. So this region I'm looking at here is going to be very crucial for gold, and that's the 1525 to 1530 region here on gold. That's a level we're going to watch very closely on gold to see if we can hold that level. All right. Silver, yeah, pretty much the same. We also have a support here on silver. As you can see, the previous lows here on silver at just about a 27 region here, as you can see. So that's another level I'm looking at here, about 27 to 26.5 region here on silver. For more information about trading the markets, whether you're a beginner or advanced trader, visit my website, leadingtrader.com. Thank you.